Also known as common arrowhead, these tubers have a bitter citrus flavor when raw. This dissipates after 15 to 20 minutes of boiling. To harvest them, you're gonna have to get your feet wet. They can be boiled, roasted, mashed into a flour, either wet or dry. The uncurled leaves are also best cooked in the early spring. This is Indian cucumber. You see the berries on the top. There's whorls, secondary whorl. In the fall, it's important that you dig these roots. And we're looking for understory plants that will provide us enough food for our calorie investment. Indian cucumber, if it grows in colonies, will do just that. You gotta be really careful when you follow these roots down. Because they're really delicate. But this is the rhizome, the Indian cucumber. It has a very cucumbery taste, thus the name Indian cucumber. Oh yeah, for safety you may want to wash all of your wild edibles, unless of course you're in a survival situation, or you look forward to getting some kind of weird pathogen that you can use wild medicinals for. Wintergreen, Gaultheria procumbens, has leaves and berries that can be eaten raw. Its active ingredients include a volatile oil containing methyl silicates and phenolic compounds including salicylic acid. It's not only a mild analgesic, but it's also anti-inflammatory. Clintonia, or Clintonia borealis, has leaves that can be eaten raw or cooked. Once they get old and bitter, they can be served cooked to make them more palatable. A lot of the wild edibles we're going to be using are roots, and wild sarsaparilla is no exception. What we want here are the runners. Okay, so this here is this is the edible part. I'm gonna take this papery bark off. Okay, and there'll be a white fleshy meat before it reaches a woody inedible core. And so what I do is I take my fingernail and I split her right open. There's the woody core right there, and the fleshy meat is right underneath. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the edible part. And this, again, is the best time of year to get it now till the ground freezes over. But all of that is the magic right there. This is what we want to eat. Rich in starch, readily accessible sugars. It grows everywhere. Almost tastes like a hint of ginger, a little sweeter, very palatable. Some people get a little scratchiness in their throat. I do once in a while, but it's nothing to complain about really. Very available food source in the understory in New England. Hog Peanut has these delicate vines. You can trace them to the ground if they haven't already snapped off, and dig up the hair-like tubers. They're not too far, so even though they're small, you can gather a large amount of them in a short bit of time. The trick is not snapping off these little tiny vines that die back each year. They taste great raw. Some people get gastrointestinal distress just like beans, and it's because of an enzyme in these which is easily destroyed through cooking, but you lose that legume flavor, and it becomes more of a potato-like flavor, which is minor. It's an available understory edible that grows in profusion. Tastes like a legume. You can gather a bunch of them rather quickly because they're only a few centimeters beneath the ground. Hog Peanut.